My name is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent. I've worked thousands of cases, maybe 10,000. I was a teaching instructor there. Um, I've been on Fox Business. I have a huge Facebook following of tax professionals. I'm really a national expert on IRS collections and audit matters. And you know what I like to do is I like to give you YouTubers, you do-it-yourselfers like Home Depot, make your own stuff and everything. I like to peel the curtain back, to be honest with you, and give you some inside information that you need to know. I'm very casual. I'm not a suit and guy thing. I'm old enough to do what I want because I'm really good at what I do. So today what I want to talk to you about is IRS penalty abatements. I've got my share of penalty abatements abated by the Internal Revenue Service. So what I want to do is go over some of the tips for you. I think the first thing you need to know is there's no magic wand for penalty abatements. IRS is very tough on them, very, very tough. You've got to have someone that's very good, very creative, very factual, put your case together. It's really common that, gee, I owe a lot of debt. IRS is at least going to forgive this. It isn't, because these penalties and interest are actually put in the budget. You should know that interest is never going to be abated unless it's associated with some of the interest on that penalty. You're stuck with that interest. So I'm going to tell you to turn or go to my website. My website is 777irs.com. I have laid out under the abatement section an entire guide for you to follow. Once again, go to my website, 777irs.com. On the left side, there's a number of things we do, and one of them is the penalty and abatement section. You want to go ahead and follow my guide that I've left for you, because there's very specific things that you need to do. I'm going to tell you some of them now, but the first thing you have to do is you got to write a good, thorough statement. I'm reading really off my website for you. You want to get statements from people or professionals. You've got to have documentation. If you're writing a self-serving 1 or 2 page letters, IRS wants to know who can support what you're saying. I used to get so many self-serving letters at IRS, put them right in the garbage. It's just self-serving. You need to have documentation, professional letters, and you have to have enough facts and documentation that support everything that you're going to do. And let me just give you some of the steps and some of the errors people make. People go ahead and always use dates that even aren't related to the penalty abatement. They just don't. You've got to be spot on to the time you have the penalty until the time you want that penalty abated. Usual multiple years aren't going to fly under the same penalty. IRS will look for a particular act, a date, a non-compliance, and they're going to make sure you've had a good prior history. If you don't have a good prior history and you're a habitual delinquent, you have little chance. I won't even take those cases because I know IRS is going to look at them. They do want to know also how soon after that you are non-compliant with the event or filing did you get back doing things right. IRS is going to look at that window in particular, and they're going to say, gee, this is the one event that happened. We can abate this. It didn't drag out a number of years. After the problem was solved or the event was over, they still didn't stay current. IRS isn't going to go ahead and do that. So your outline has to have what happened and when did it happen? What were the facts that went ahead and prevented this act from happening? Big, once again, I'm mentioning again, what documentation do you have to prove? I've got a dentist out of a huge penalty. He broke his wrist. What I did, I sent in the x-ray and the medical reports. He couldn't work. I got a bunch of penalties. Another one is to make sure you're compliant right away. And then next, you want to pick a good professional who knows what the hell they're doing to go ahead and help you with this. If it's something small, write your letter in with your documentation, support evidence. You're spot on to the time that you had the event, your prior before, your prior after. IRS, I want my penalty abated. Please go to my website at 777, it's free, irs.com. Look under the penalty abatement sections. I can review a case, tell you whether you warned or not. Thank you for listening to my YouTubes. You can leave comments. I can always give you a quick answer back. We can be hired, but penalties are tough to get abated. I want you to know that now. Thank you very much.